Where can I go to share factual life experiences without being censored, restricted, shadow banned, deplatformed, etc.? It's a place
Well,
called
I'll tell you where.
Nostr. Imagine you're at a real life party and you're just at a shindig, holding a drink, whatever. Like, hey, so what are your hobbies? And some guy's like, well, I'm a very important moderator on Reddit, and I kick people like Derek Ross off for promoting Ditto.pub, that motherfucker.
And immediately Heather's like, sploosh.
Like, oh God, what a great hobby. Do you want to be a Reddit mod when you grow up? Like, how fucking important are you? Like, stick that chest out.
Welcome to the Soapbox Sessions. Imagine this, an open and free internet where voices are never silenced, where causes aren't shadow banned, and where no one can be deplatformed. It's real, it's here, and it's happening on Nostr. So what exactly is Nostr? It's a worldwide community of everyday people working to decentralize the internet. On Nostr, you can build websites, communities, social networks, apps, and more. One login works everywhere, you own it, and no one can take it away. No more juggling dozens of platforms, chasing audiences, or managing a giant password list. And the cherry on top? Nostr allows for built-in digital payments that can come from anywhere in the world. On Nostr, value flows as freely as ideas. We're hooked on decentralizing the web, and we think you will be too. So now, let's hear from your hosts, Derek Ross and Heather Larson, who are working to grow Nostr one vibe at a time.
All right, the conference is now over, but Derek and I are recording this before the conference happens. And it's actually today, Thursday, April 3rd. And so we don't know what's happened at the conference yet, so we can't talk about that. So we'll record the full recap for you to hear in another week. But right now, I want to go in a different direction. Derek, are you aware that Morgan and I got in trouble on TikTok last night? We got flagged.
I did see that you got your wrist slapped.
We got our wrist
slapped.
slapped.
You were being bad, naughty women and got your wrist slapped.
Morgan, so Morgan and I decided we're going to do a live.
What happened?
We go on her channel because she's an expert TikToker. She's got a huge channel, like 400,000 people. So we decided to do a live on her channel to talk about Soapbox things and, also kind of bring her audience into the loop because she hasn't been posting a lot lately since she's been working for us because we've unbrainwashed her, obviously, coming from the big tech and big platforms that she doesn't like. She found us and we've been, putting her through our indoctrination paces, right? So it's time for her to start doing some more lives on her channel. So I joined her from my little infantile TikTok channel because I've only been screwing around with it for 2 months. And so I have like 100 followers or whatever. So my little channel, my little non-threatening channel, Derek, I joined her big channel. We did this live. And at some point, she got in trouble for having me on.
And your account's really new, right? Like you're only like a month old or something like that, right?
2 months. I think it started on like the first week of March. Okay. So my channel, and I've been censored previously as well. I had one of my videos go into content review last week. So I'm already getting flagged as a new TikToker.
All right. You're ruffling some feathers, I hear. Okay,
I'm ruffling some feathers. Well, I was talking about Ticketmaster, and you can't do that on TikTok because TikTok and Ticketmaster are in bed with each other, right? So I started getting flagged. They're coming after us.
Hands here, but they're
you can't talk about big tech on a big tech platform. So I got her in trouble. It literally said that we were restricted for the next 10 minutes of the live because she wouldn't kick me off the live. It wanted her to kick me off the live. Wow. And since she didn't, she said, no, I'm not kicking her off the live. And the only thing I can think of, because it said I was violating the guidelines, Derek. I was violating the TikTok guidelines, which I'm sure I checked off when I signed.
Violating the guidelines. Okay.
I am a violator. I am a rabble-rouser, like our friend Rabble.
So you violated the guidelines by saying something bad about Ticketmaster. Did you do it on live?
Well, no, not during the live. Air? Not during the live. We weren't talking about Ticketmaster on the live because now I've learned not to mention it.
So you previously ruffled feathers.
In trouble for Ticketmaster.
You were a known bad actress, and she invited you on the stream, and it's like, hey, you have a bad person on here. If you don't kick the bad person out,
well, you know what I think?
We're going to restrict you?
For 10 minutes, yeah. So I think what we were talking about just the nature of being a woman online and getting bullied and harassed, and that tripped the triggers. We weren't actually like being bad people. Like I wasn't actually bullying Morgan or harassing Morgan, but just the mere mention of it got us restricted for 10 minutes on TikTok. So like, I don't know, we had like maybe 50 people listening. So then we went like down to like 20 people. like participating in the TikTok, so that like, and TikTok doesn't want to let you get beyond 70 viewers anyway, it seems. I've noticed that, like, not just with us, but with other bigger creators who have huge followings. They don't really get beyond, like, the 150 people is the most I've seen as far as people viewing somebody's TikTok live. So it's like they
don't want you to go viral unless you're playing the game.
Right, unless
they don't want you to say something controversial.
Right, I think I was committing some wrong speak. I was committing some crime.
Crazy that this happened. So,
isn't it? I'm not used to that because I'm on Nostr.
The United States government essentially now, and several other entities, but TikTok is essentially state-controlled media right now. The government,
they all are,
did a whole thing, over the past year to take TikTok away from Chinese-controlled media to make it United States-controlled media.
Could even argue that CBS is state-controlled media, to be honest. But yeah, they're inappropriate.
It's not
business.
Any better.
There's inappropriate. I think it's inappropriate that big tech has the influence over the social platforms that it does, and the government got involved with TikTok as it did, and now we're here where little Heather Larson commits wrong speak on Morgan's live, and I get Morgan, pushed down.
The fact that she was bullied. Hey, kick this bad person out, or you're gonna get bullied. And that she didn't comply. She didn't kick you out, so she got penalized.
She could have booted me out
for it.
She got penalized. Crazy. So yeah, we watched the amount of viewers just shrink down. Of like less people were being permitted to watch us.
What are the current restrictions on her account and your account now? Was it just
there are no
a 10-minute ban,
now.
or was it something else?
It was a 10-minute restriction. So the live was restricted for 10 minutes. In other words, like, we're not going to let people view you for 10 minutes. And so it was like, we literally watched the amount of viewers go down. So it wasn't being sent out to people. Like, it wasn't being pushed to people, I presume.
New people weren't discovering it. I get that. Okay.
I also suspect the other thing I've seen go on with TikTok lives is that they get glitchy. And so people jump out. This happened when you guys were doing a TikTok live, you and her, when you were in Texas.
Yes.
Things were getting glitchy. And so like the natural human response is, this is glitchy, I'm going to log out and log back in, or this is glitchy, I can't stand watching it, so I'm going to bounce. So one of those things happened. People started bouncing because of the probably glitchiness. I'm guessing it probably makes you glitchy. But the fact is, it has the power to do it. It has the power to hold up a video that I post, like
QoS level. Like on a technical level, they could say, we're going to flag this stream for whatever reason. And then But we can't actually say that we're doing it because that would be hindering speech. But maybe we bump you down to a lower quality of service level where you're now restricted bandwidth wise. I mean, this 100% is technically possible. So now you're restricted to a small amount of bandwidth. So your stream sucks. So people aren't going to watch it because it's laggy, it's glitching, it's sputtering, buffering.
I think that's what they're doing.
And the platform can say, hey, we're not doing anything, we're letting them talk. Sure, they're letting them talk on a Raspberry Pi server. Like, you don't have the full full server resources behind you. But
it's a trip. You know what gets me?
It's 100% possible.
You know what was pissing me off about it later? Because Morgan and I laughed about it. She didn't kick me off the channel. We kept going for a little while longer. My phone was going to die anyway, and so was hers. So we had to get off soon after that. What made me mad was I thought about, like, I was not bullying anybody. I wasn't harassing anybody. I was merely talking about an experience I had where actually Morgan and I had been harassed by somebody online, both of us, but the same person. And like, the fact is, you can't even share your story because something's listening, some AI dumb moderation thing, some features listening, and I've hit the trigger words. So there's like this notion that this human being might be harassing or bullying somebody else. It doesn't have the reasoning to say, oh, she's actually fine. She's just talking about an experience she had. So if you think about it, it actually is like a double victimization, right? So I got bullied online, but now I can't ever talk about it and share it with another person because now I'm getting flagged as the bad guy, right? So it's like getting harassed all over again. I can't talk about being harassed online. I'm probably, and if I put this on YouTube, we're probably going to get flagged there. You know what I mean? It's like these are the magic words that it's like, I can't talk about certain experiences I've had in my life because if I use that language, it trips a trigger somewhere that says she's evil, bad, wrong. She's talking about a taboo subject. Like you can't talk about taboo subjects online, even though I might be sharing a fact like, hi, I'm Heather and I was harassed by a person online. I am sharing a fact, but I'm talking about a taboo subject. So I'm probably going to get flagged for it. Probably going to get in trouble for it because we have to create this sanitized environment now because all these big companies got in trouble for the mental health of children, which they damaged and knew that they were perpetuating the damage. So now we have to create this sanitized society where we can never talk about negative experiences or taboo subjects because think of the children, Derek. Think of the children. That's what makes me mad because I feel like
They
it's
definitely
censoring.
didn't think of the children when they had their algorithms that were damaging the
Right?
children's mental health.
Right.
So
But
they
now they're
fucked
punishing
up.
us.
And
They're punishing
now
us.
they are, well, they went from one extreme to the other now. They said, whoa,
Right.
whoa, whoa.
Right.
We went hardcore control and we fucked everybody up. So now we're going to go even harder control to unfuck everybody, but you're literally fucking people again. Like,
Yeah.
there needs to be
You're literally like,
a way.
where can I go to share factual life experiences without being censored, restricted, shadow banned, deplatformed, etc.? It's a place called Nostr.
I'll tell you where it's not, Heather. Like, coincidentally, you and I are going to have the same story this episode of the podcast.
I know.
Because
too.
coincidentally, you can't go to Reddit and have these types of conversations.
I think Reddit is the worst one.
I was banned from Reddit. I was banned from Reddit yesterday.
Congratulations.
Let me tell you about this.
I knew Reddit was a waste of time.
Well, I wasn't banned from all of Reddit. So I've been on Reddit for 17 years. I love Reddit. Certain subs over the years I have loved more than others, and you gravitate towards your community and you use the communities as you see fit. Every once in a while, Reddit became a cesspool, and I'm like, oh, I hate this cesspool. I'm not going to use it anymore. And then I just don't use that sub, and I move on to a new sub, right? You hop around Reddit communities, but it's still the Reddit hive mind. So I liked Reddit. So yesterday, I was scrolling my feed, and I saw a post called something along the lines of "the internet sucks and isn't fun anymore." And I was like, oh, this is literally what Soapbox talks about.
That's our world.
Yes, it's up our alley. So I'm like, let me read. So I read the whole post, and there was a woman that just complained about how the internet sucks, how social media has changed. It is not fun anymore, and she was nostalgic for the past.
Aww.
Ding, ding, ding. I said,
you were like,
my God.
Hey.
I replied and I said, oh my God, my company is literally building this. We have an app. It has themes. It has colors. It has a Tamagotchi virtual pet. It has fun. There's no algorithms. There's no ads. You can control your attention, control your feed. You can customize everything. All the fun things that we miss, all the things that we market while we built Ditto on Nostr. And I said, this literally fits perfect. She replied, oh my God, this is amazing. Multiple other people said, oh wow, I can't believe it. This is really cool. This sounds fun and interesting. So the OP, the original poster, she went and edited her Reddit post at the bottom, and she said, one of us is building a fix for the enshittification of social media. Check it out. I just found this site, ditto.pub. So she puts it in the post. The post blows up, gets 700 upvotes. We get upwards of 1,000 people visiting Ditto. And then I get a message that I have been banned from the millennials subreddit. I'm like, what the fuck? What did I do? I literally I sent one message. And then after she replied to me saying this is cool, I replied and she said something like, I don't have any rewards to give you. I wish I could give you an award, a Reddit award. Aww. And I replied back, I don't need an award. Just please use the app. And anything that you find that is broken, doesn't work, give me all your feedback. Send me all your feedback because that's my job. I wanted feedback, and that I sent 2 messages. Right. And I have this message now saying that I'm banned from the millennial subreddit. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't do anything.
Well, you're too old.
I didn't start a fight. I wasn't obvious. I'm literally a millennial.
You mentioned Ditto.
I'm I frequent the the Zennials and the Millennials subreddit, and I love all the nostalgia in there. So I advertised something that I liked. I'm sorry, but it was a grassroots, like it wasn't like it was just completely organic.
And you
Well,
got banned.
She got her post. So I ended up messaging her, and I'm like, "Hey, I got banned. I'm sorry if if you got banned too."
You can still message even though you got banned. I mean, that's optimism, right?
Well, I messaged the OP because I asked her for feedback. So I followed up and said, "Hey, if you have any feedback, you can still get a hold of me through DMs because you can't message me on that that post anymore. It's deleted and blocked and all that good shit." So I was banned from that subreddit, and then I replied to the mods that banned me and said, this wasn't a completely organic. This wasn't, astroturfing. I didn't tell her to update the post to include ditto.pub. She generally liked what I said.
Yeah. You
And
really answered
they
her
replied
question
back,
with a fact, right? Like, hey.
Like, the mod team, the mod mail replied back to me saying that I was now permanently banned. I replied,
damn, Derek.
What the fuck? So that's
enemy
literally what I
number
said.
one.
I replied back to mod mail, just WTF question mark. And because of that WTF, they then submitted my WTF comment to the Reddit admins, and I got a 3-day temporary ban from Reddit for saying WTF to an unrightful ban. So things are escalating quickly. So obviously Derek's response is, fuck you, you can't ban what doesn't exist. So
apparently WTF was rude, foul language.
I deleted my 17-year-old Reddit account that I've been using.
Wow.
I mean, older than my chill. Oh yeah. I went into the thing, I clicked delete account. Please confirm your password. Yes. Are you sure you want to delete? Yes. Fuck you. And delete it. I'm done. I literally didn't do anything wrong. I was being helpful. And that is like my whole entire motto. So for being helpful, I got fucking banned. Fuck them.
Fuck it. We have Stacker News. Let's go hang out on Stacker News.
We are going to obsolete them. Do you remember when that is a phrase that is famous in the Bitcoin community?
You're legit
We will obsolete you.
You're
I am mad. I used Reddit every single day. I literally had a 700-day streak. They rolled out streaks 2 years ago.
Aww.
I was working on my 2-year badge, 700 days in a row. I used Reddit. I loved Reddit, but fuck you. I'll do a lot of dumb things out of principle, and this is one of them. Account deleted. I will not uninstalled. I will never go to Reddit again out of principle. Nostr only.
Nostr only, baby.
So
Nostr, except for the accounts that his bots run on Twitter and LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Which is honestly with those platforms.
That's not me. That's not me. That's bots. It's
no,
different.
But I like to smart ass your bot on there just in case you hadn't noticed. I figured you probably didn't. But no, I expect to be banned on TikTok because it is very policed. I feel like Reddit is worse though. That's why I don't like getting on Reddit, because I don't want to do rules. I don't want mods determining how I behave. I don't want them determining my speech or its reach. And there's nothing wrong with telling somebody about something
having
you made.
guidelines for your community though. I understand
that's
having
fine.
guidelines.
Make your own rules.
I would have been,
and I can opt
been
out.
okay if they would have messaged me and like, hey man, just to let you know that we technically don't allow advertising. We're gonna delete this comment. And I would have said, what the fuck? This was organic, but okay.
Yeah, it was not like you went in there like, hey everybody, have you heard of my company's website?
I got banned. Like
there's
banned
nothing
without
wrong with
a warning.
Question. You're not allowed to answer a question.
And then when I replied, they permanently banned me when I tried to plead my case. Like some fucking
there's no recourse.
Some fucking neckbeard in their parents' basement is sitting there. Oh, I got
a neckbeard in their parents' basement. Yeah, that's the problem with the internet is all that mom's basement energy. Right. But yeah,
rant over. I'm calm now. I'm not angry.
That was good.
Anymore. Thank you.
I
for
laugh about
that
the TikTok situation because it kind of. That's 2 bans. That's 2 times I have been controlled or restricted by TikTok in the last week. So I'm probably just going to start posting the stuff I post on TikTok. I'll probably just post it on Nostr. It's at some point it's going to be Nostr only for everybody because nobody. This is not these big platforms. We can't survive there. You're going to get kicked off. And I kind of Morgan has a huge following there, which she doesn't want to lose. Obviously, she's got a community that she really feels like she knows a lot of those people. She's built that up, and that's the thing.
at some
I get
point,
kicked
she's going to be
off,
pushed to the edge.
yeah, if I get kicked
It's
off
going
of
to
TikTok
happen.
now, because I only have like 140 followers on TikTok. I looked at it today and I was like, there's no cost to me here, but I feel like there's a bigger cost for Morgan if she loses it. She has to go somewhere else and start over. And, Nostr solves this problem because you have one Nostr identity, one social graph goes with it. You take those people, that social graph with you forever. Whatever Nostr app you
And
log
nobody
into.
can ban you. That's the
No
killer
banning.
feature, is that
Nobody
nobody can ban you.
That's the thing, is
Worst
like,
case scenario, a relay or a client bans you, and you say, cool,
but that's
thanks
the
for
worst
using the
case.
protocol as
That hasn't
designed.
happened to
And
me.
you go and you use another relay, and you go and you
Yeah.
use
I
another
haven't had to do that
app.
in more than
I was
2
I
years.
was banned. I was
You were
banned on
banned?
Nostr.
On Nostr? On a relay?
Satlantis
What?
banned me. The app Satlantis. Yeah, Satlantis banned me about a year and a half ago. The owner of the application was
banned
upset
them.
at Derek and banned me, and then blamed it on an application misconfiguration. Those things don't happen. And then I talked to their employee later, and the employee admitted that they banned me. I'm now unbanned. That's nice of them. But
Okay,
yeah, they
see.
banned me for for petty reasons.
Petty reasons. Okay, but you're
But
back now.
literally, that's no big deal, because there's
Yeah.
there's hundreds of other clients, there's hundreds of other relays. So go ahead and ban me.
And you made Plectos.
Nostr working as intended.
You made your
Right?
own event app. It works as an intent. Well, here's the
I
thing.
did.
In more than 2 years of being on Nostr, I have never had a video be held up in review because there's no moderation on Nostr. But I'm so used to posting videos that I want to post on Nostr. They're the way I want them to be. I say what I want to say. There's nobody, no human eyes, no AI eyes, no algorithm reviewing them before they get posted. Nobody can flag them and say, she's spreading misinformation, because they just don't like me because of their identity politics, because that's what happens on all of the platforms. Oh, I don't agree with her politics. So that's misinformation. I'm going to hit the button so she gets moderated. And then they're like super mad, right?
You know what needs to happen with our society? We
They
need
to grow up.
go back in time when it was okay to have a difference of opinions.
Right? I've noticed that with people. Have you noticed that? It's
because two people don't agree doesn't mean that one person is 100% wrong. It just means you have a difference of opinions.
I think that
all right, yeah.
I've had instances lately where I have shared my opinion with other people, regardless of age, country, background, whatever, and I have noticed that they are appalled that I think differently than them because they think what I think is wrong. I've noticed that, and I'm like, do you not realize that other people have differences of opinion, and you're going to have to get used to it? This is we live in a very black and white
when things
world.
are opinions too. Like, there's so many of these cases where things are actual opinions. Like there literally isn't a right or a wrong answer.
Yeah,
but because your opinion is different, they're like, oh, well,
yeah, and people just think differently than
treat you like an asshole. Or
where did we get to where there's like a silent idea that there's a majority that all thinks the same? Because when I have people with a different idea from my life experience, background, whatever,
I don't want
can say
that, man.
Like, no,
and
because
echo chamber's boring.
It is very boring. So it's like I've seen people be stunned when I say I don't agree with that. Here's why, and they're like, they don't know what to say, and it's like, the black and white thinking's a problem.
I don't have to agree with your reason for having a difference of an opinion, but I like to hear it just because it allows me to try to think.
No.
Why does Heather think this way?
People
Why
don't
does she
want to
feel
hear
this way? Let me think about her perspective. And then I can say, you know what? I see her perspective. I understand it. And I don't agree. And I don't agree with it. And that's fine. But maybe I grew a little bit as a person because I could see where you're coming from.
The last time I remember us as a society disagreeing peacefully with one another and maybe even having playful arguments about politics or world events or opinions or whatever was probably around the time of 9/11. And then afterwards, as we were all trying to make sense of it, friends and coworkers, we all had different opinions about what was going on. And we actually discussed them openly with each other. And we still had lunch together later and moved on. Okay. And that's the way the younger generations are going to be shocked that this is the way it used to be, that you could be friends and have friendly discussions with people.
You mean people that were on the left and on the right side of the political spectrum were able to be friends at the end of the day?
And we used to even say incendiary things to each other. we would say the most radical things about one another's views, and then we'd, I kid you not, laugh about it and walk away. And people don't do that anymore. It's become very black and white.
People used to be able to make fun of each other and pick on each other, and
No, you can't
not
do
so
that.
much each other. The
No,
situation.
that's bullying, Derek.
The
That's mean.
situation. Laugh at the situation. Laugh at the issue. Make fun of the issue, because
No, you
that's a
can't
way
make fun
to
of
deal
people,
with
Derek.
it.
You can't do that. That's wrong speak. You can't do that because then TikTok restricts you. You can't even mention it, or you get restricted. You get restricted with the wrong speak. You can't say it, Derek. You got to be regulated.
Literally, my favorite thing to do is to make jokes and be sarcastic and make fun of the situation. I literally did that yesterday when I'm a Bitcoin maximalist. I made a shit post about how this one aspect of a Bitcoin maximalist literally is horrible, but I still do it. It was a huge shit post about running a node, like 99 steps on how to run a node.
But
and I pissed off a lot of people. I'm like, guys,
Nostr.
you know that I do this, right? Like, I'm smart enough to recognize that it is a pain in the ass. I still do it because I want to do it, but I also understand that, like, literally, like, no one else in my family is ever going to do any of these things.
You mean you use some discernment?
And that's okay.
Discernment? Some balanced thinking? Like you actually like thought something through? You didn't. The problem with the black and white thinking in this day and age is that
not all of us fit inside the same box.
No, but it's a cognitive distortion, and it means that your critical thinking hasn't evolved yet. You see this in a lot of people in their early 20s. That's why we would send people to college. And now society is changing, and maybe college is not so vital anymore as it used to be for a multitude of reasons, including economic. Maybe people aren't learning to get past their black and white thinking, and I think it's becoming a symptom of cope. And it doesn't mean you're less intelligent. You just haven't learned critical thinking skills yet, that much of life happens in a gray area and that you can't be using your black and white thinking as cope. But that's my other soapbox.
It's hard to develop critical thinking skills if you're not given the opportunity to develop them. You have to be in situations where you do have to think.
Well, let's get back to TikTok. If a lot of people are using these social media platforms like TikTok, it's reinforcing the black and white thinking, and it's reinforcing certain politics. Like I've been playing with, I'll be honest, trying to get banned on TikTok. What can I get away with?
Wait.
What can I get away with?
You're actually trying to get banned?
I'm trying at this point. So one day I collected a bunch of Trump memes, and I made a post of Trump memes because I'm like, will this get me banned? Because they were kind of foul, Trump memes. It was the week that he made fun of the Pope. And so I had a bunch of memes about that. And I posted on TikTok like, surely this will get me in trouble. No, it did great. They love to push anti-Trump rhetoric on TikTok. And again, my politics aren't one way or the other. I'm politically homeless, but I wanted to see what happened if I posted Trump memes. People fucking loved it. And they followed me over it because I shared a whole post of it. It was a meme dump of Trump memes to some crazy song. And TikTok pushes, I would say, far left views. I think it pushes Marxism and communist views. To get more specific,
Well, so I don't use
being
TikTok
against Trump is that, but
But I would, based on other things that I've read, I would have assumed it was the other political spectrum that was being pushed, like right-wing stuff, based on other things I've read.
Well,
really?
I look at both on there, and I don't get a lot of MAGA. I get a lot of liberal stuff, pushed to me. But I also love the one
now
where,
here's the thing. I wonder if the algorithm thinks that's what you want, right? So it
does, because there's this one lady that beats a Trump blow up doll with a stick every day, and it's absolutely it's hilarious because she's got a stick and she talks to the camera. She talks about the Daily News, and then she's like, "And you're such an idiot," and she keeps hitting it with the stick, and it's absolutely the most dumb but funny thing. And so I see it every day. It feeds it to me just about nearly every day, and I like it. And so now I am being fed every far left liberal anti-Trump thing, which is fine because I don't like Trump. I don't even if you voted for Trump at this point, you don't like him, right? I don't vote, by the way. I'm not registered to vote. I think that Bitcoin is the way I'm going to change the world, and not by voting, so I don't waste my time on it. But I still I watch all this stuff. And so yeah, TikTok has pegged me as many things. It knows where I'm geographically located, so it sends me Phoenix events, and it sends me anti-Trump stuff, and it sends me I'm in a man-hating loop too on there because I get fed the man-hater algorithm. of women who are fed up with dating. I get fed book talk, which I do want. It's like the one bit of content I want. I do get fed golf content, which I do want. But yeah, I'm getting at some point it tests out what political content you might like so that it sends you more of that. It sends me a lot of
So
Gen
what I'm
X
hearing
content
is
too.
that the algorithm has adapted to the type of content that you want,
It has
and
decided
it
that
is
this
now
is what I want.
spoon feeding you that type of content. See,
Yes, it's decided I am a man-hating liberal woman who hates dating, hates Trump, wants to read books, wants to go golfing.
I mean, I'm going to say this as your friend. I don't think it's
Here it comes.
entirely wrong here, Heather. I don't think I know you, and out of all these conversations we've had, I'm now saying, this algo actually has my friend Heather pretty well figured out. Like,
It's got me pretty,
it's
but it
scary.
doesn't send me things that I really want. Like, it sends me some music things that I want. So I keep trying to like every music thing that comes across, so it'll send me more music things,
Okay.
but it doesn't do that. It wants me to be a
Now,
TikTok creator, so it sends me that content.
I'm
It's
also
assigning me
hearing,
something.
though, that I mean, we know algorithms are bad, but we're talking literally about you having to try to game the algorithm. You want to see more
It's not
music
working.
content. So you're like, shit, I don't want to see
I better like
whatever.
every
I
music
gotta
person.
I better start liking more and watching more music stuff so I can see more music stuff. That's just crazy to me. Like, why can't you have a feed of music stuff? Like,
Well, yeah, why can't you
on
just direct me
Nostr,
to it?
you can do that, right? Like,
Yeah, like why
on
am I
Ditto,
playing this
you can
game?
make a follow feed, you can make your hashtags, you can make your follow packs, you can pin those, and you can have a feed of literally the things that you want. Like,
Yeah, I can be
there's just a
informed.
better way out there.
Yeah,
There's just
like
a better way out there.
Can I
I
be
like being
informed
able
about
to be in
news?
control of your content, your algorithm, your feed,
Yeah.
everything.
I
I
want to
just
be
don't
informed
understand why people still think that this
because
is
they don't
okay
know the
to
alternatives out there.
live and
Because
die by the algorithms.
on Nostr, I have to do the work to choose what I see, but like the algorithm
Yeah.
of TikTok has
It's proof of work. It's proof of
Right.
work, and not everybody wants to do that. They want to just be lazy and scroll. So
Well,
this
and
is like
two-
what we were
2
talking about
months-
last episode. We need to
Yeah.
change people's mindset.
right. In the 2 months I've been on TikTok, it has decided that my desire to be informed about news results in me being assigned a personality where I'm a liberal man-hating woman just because I am a woman who wants to know maybe some of the news vitriol that's out there. We won't mention it because, again, I don't want to get us shadow banned on YouTube when I post this fucking video there. It's like a never-ending madness.
Exactly.
It's so obnoxious.
This episode is going to completely derail our algorithm.
I'm going to call
on
it
YouTube,
man-hating
so-
liberal woman for the SEO.
My
Just see
God.
what I'm going to get every single one of us kicked off of every single fucking social network platform, and we're just going to exist
well,
on
you know what?
Nostr in the end. That's it.
You know what? Nostr only. We'll be on Fountain. We'll be on all the podcasting 2.0
You know what,
apps.
Derek?
We'll be on
You and-
Nostr podcasts.
You and I don't know how to act on the normal platforms now because we're used to the freedom of
Well,
being on
apparently I was being
Nostr.
fucking helpful and I got banned from Reddit. I
know,
literally
that's like
don't know. Like, what was I supposed to say? Ha ha. Like, I agree. Like, I couldn't be helpful. Ha ha. I
You
agree.
probably
Hey,
should have
check
said,
out my app.
"Hey,
No,
I've got the
no,
solution
no,
for
that's
you.
not helpful.
I've got the solution for you, ma'am, but you're gonna have to DM me. You're gonna have to slide into my DMs because I don't want to get banned for giving you the solution because then
That
I'm gonna
makes
be
it sound
accused
like
of
I want to
marketing."
send. No, that sounds like I wanted to send her like an unsolicited dick. Well, actually, it's solicited at that point. Send her a
Yeah.
solicited dick pic. Hey, slide into my DMs. I can help you out. Like, no, I wanted to help in public so other people could be helped.
Yeah,
It's so frustrating.
That's why I don't like when people were telling me Reddit was getting so popular like a couple years ago. I looked at it. I was like, I'm going to get kicked off of this in 2 seconds because there's too many rules. I don't care. I'm not going to remember. If I want to talk about my product or service and that's going to get me kicked off, like, fuck that. It's the same thing with Facebook groups. Don't self-promote.
So
how are people supposed to promote?
The whole self-promotion thing is wild, right?
Yeah.
If I, let's say I self-promoted, I posted a link, whatever, that I'm not saying there's a rule for that or against that, but the community
Mhm.
literally decides these things, what it likes with
Mhm.
upvotes and downvotes. If everybody downvotes my self-promotion, then it sounds like no one's going to
There
see
you
it
go.
because everybody downvoted it. But if
But if they
everybody
upvote it,
thought it was helpful and they upvoted it, then it sounds like that's what the community wanted. The community can literally moderate the content. So why did a moderator have to go in there and choose what everybody was allowed to upvote or
also,
downvote by
my
deleting it?
question, like, how
If it was
fast did that
helpful,
happen?
people would upvote it.
Are they just sitting there waiting for something to moderate because they have no fucking life? Because again, they're a neckbeard in a mom's basement.
I mean, there's probably, so let's say, I mean, there is an auto moderator bot. It automatically, maybe they have it configured to automatically flag any post that has a link in it to see what the post says.
I
And
guess you
then
could do
maybe
that.
a mod looked at it and said, oh, he said this was an app that his company worked on. Oh, that's
You know,
advertising. We got to ban that.
imagine
So what, that it had hundreds of upvotes and people thought it was helpful? No, we don't want to be helpful. We got to keep people on Reddit and keep them controlled where I'm a mod and I can control their
imagine
speech.
you're at a real life party and you meet somebody and you're
I
like,
was
hey, so
calmed
what do you do?
down. Why am I mad again?
You're mad. I just got you amped up. No, imagine you're at a real life party and you're just at a shindig, holding a drink, whatever. Like, hey, so what are your hobbies? And some guy's like, well, I'm a very important moderator on Reddit, and I kick people like Derek Ross off for promoting Ditto.pub, that
And
motherfucker.
immediately Heather's like, sploosh.
Like, oh god, what a great hobby! Do you want to be a Reddit mod when you grow up? Like, how fucking important are you? Like, stick that chest out, brother. You've moderated people off the internet. You've taken away people's free speech. Good for you. Did that make your? I mean, come on. God, I'm gonna have to
That's
mute
what I
that
should
for
have done.
YouTube.
I should have. Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna have to mute that for YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. We made
Sorry,
a
YouTube.
made a
We're
dirty
trying to
joke.
behave. I'm gonna get us kicked off of YouTube. It's very easy to get
Don't
kicked
get us
off
kicked
of
off.
TikTok and Reddit, is what I've learned from this conversation. Is that Derek and I, we've been so used to our free speech
Well,
so far for years
we
now
are.
that we can't act right on the corporate platforms. We immediately get into trouble. Like you and I, we can't take
Well,
each other anywhere.
thankfully, Nostr and decentralized media exists for us, so we can make the dirty joke from time to time and not get kicked off or banned.
I can use any word I want. I can also mute any word I want, and I do, so that there's content that I don't see.
I think that,
police
you
my
know,
own
since
content.
since we're talking about censorship, let's answer that question that you just alluded to. Somebody actually asked
Mhm.
this on that Reddit thread that I was banned when I said nobody controls speech. Someone said, well, what do you do if someone says, you know, something, you know, CSAM type stuff, you know, what do you do with
Mhm.
that?
Good
And
question.
I was going to respond, but Reddit took away my ability to do that. So I'll answer it now. So sure,
Mhm.
there is obviously all kinds of speech in free speech, unmoderated speech, because that means everybody can say whatever they want and you're going to get the good and you're going to get the bad. But
There's a
what
dark
is
side to it.
good and bad is highly subjective to the individual. And then with your own community, you're given tools to control your feed. So you can mute, block, whatever your app calls it, mute, curate your feed however you want. And there might be some stuff in there that you don't want to see. Boom, you don't have to see it. You click a couple buttons, press a few things, and it's done. You don't see it anymore. And then there's other apps out there that have these web of trust mechanisms where it's essentially a self-governed community where people inside this community can make the rules. It's almost like Reddit without a few people, controlling the speech, where everybody can control the speech in that community. And these are the types of tools that we're building to make this better, where you give
Yeah.
people as many tools, as many options, configuration items as they can, so they can control and moderate the content that they want to see,
Yeah.
not
I
some
have
neckbeard in the basement.
I have always marveled at, the longer we do this, the more I am struck by just how so many people use social media differently, and how people use the internet
And
differently.
that's okay. That's
Yeah, it's
okay.
great. That's the way it should be. And so, like, for me, for example, I've covered damn near enough elections in my lifetime, and I'm tired of them. And as a journalist, I'm tired of them. As a person, I'm tired of them. I also don't register to vote. I don't want to be bothered with any of it. And so, the closer we get to an election in this country, the more the vitriol and people talk about it, and the rage bait and engage on every platform is hideous. So on Nostr, I'm like, well, this can be where I'm free of the election news. So I will mute the word election. I will mute the word ballot. I will mute the word vote. So then I don't have to be subjected to any of it, because y'all know I ain't going to the voting polls anyway. I don't even want to be bothered. It's not part of my life. I've opted out. And that is how I make my opt out on the internet, on Nostr.
I think it is important that everybody has this type of capability. And that's why
Yeah.
I'm currently right now, I participated in my second one today. There's a wadathon going on right now, Web of Trust Hackathon, essentially.
Oh, yeah. It's
There's
it's the end of it.
there's almost 24 projects that are being built that utilize this web of trust in various shapes, various fashions, and so forth. And the common goal is that all of these apps are giving all these services, apps, products are all giving users an insane amount of control over their content, over their community, where everybody can configure and weight things how they like. Like, Heather, if you like comments and music, that can be your weight. Like, my weight is maybe zaps and likes or something. I can have that be my weight. And
Yours is like
we can still be
the
part of
dev
the same
talk.
community, but our feeds would be very different, right? Like, you can literally
Yeah.
do that. And
No
these
two
apps
feeds
are
are alike.
building this into all these apps, all these experience. Exactly. No two feeds are going to be
Customized.
alike. And there's no one that is in control, because ultimately, let's say I'm using a web of trust curator provider that is working on the skill. I'm sorry, the number. What's the word I'm looking for? The score. Yeah, sorry, wrong S word. Looking for the
Web of
score number
trust.
for everybody in your web of trust. If that
Okay.
if that web of trust score provider, the attestation provider, if they're doing something wrong that I don't like, that's okay. There's others. I can move on to that one. I can move on to the next, move on to the next, or I can run my own if I'm more technically savvy. So there's no single one person that controls web of trust scores. There's no single one person that is going to have the same score based on who they are and what they're like, because everybody's weights are going to be different. Like, you and I might follow the same people, Heather, but might
We
have
do.
vastly different weights and configurations for that individual person. And that's what's beautiful about
Yeah.
this. We're
Maybe
literally
I
giving
just
people the
want
tools to do whatever they want.
the chronological fire hose of going into the Nostr feed and just
Yeah.
seeing who's
And
notes
you
and
can do
replies.
that. You can
What are people talking
absolutely do
about?
that.
That's
You don't
been my
have to
choice.
have the US government sanctioned TikTok feed. You don't have to have the Mark Zuckerberg sanctioned Instagram feed, or the Elon Musk sanctioned,
Yeah,
Twitter
it's
feed.
you
You
know
can
what?
have the Heather sanctioned feed.
In the long run, I would see where this could go, to where like I could even get away from the state sponsored CBS News, right? Because we could get real journalists onto Nostr and reward them for their work that way, so that they don't have to compromise themselves by working for a CNN or working for a CBS. You can do your own original reporting, cite your sources if you're not doxing people, obviously, but cite where you got the information, report, post it on Nostr where nobody can take it down and nobody can delete it. And then you're monetized on Nostr automatically. You don't have to reach a certain amount of followers. So you could be a Joe Schmo from Iowa journalist who's like, you know what? I'm tired of getting censored or told what to do by this news organization. I'm not a big guy, but I know my work is good. So me and my 30 followers are coming over here to Nostr, and I don't have to wait until I reach 1,000 followers or 1,000 hours viewed or whatever. Pick your favorite metric. I can monetize from day one. And if I'm, filling out FOIA requests and I'm getting information and I'm sharing it with the world so that the world gets real journalism and original reporting again, I would expect my community that I'm reporting for to value that. There are still excellent political reporters in this country.
Well,
but
sure.
And then you become
I think what you're alluding to is everybody's value perception is different, and
right.
And we're allowed to be unique, and we're allowed to have our own perception of value and divvy out value how we want to. And you
also,
can
like,
completely do that and can be in control of that with Nostr.
The larger picture too is like, look at what TMZ is doing. TMZ is now like instead of chasing celebrities, they're chasing around members of Congress. And it's great, right? Because like they're finally using their powers for good. Instead of being like celebrity paparazzi in Hollywood, they're outing the politicians who, while it's in question, whether TSA is getting paid or not during a government shutdown. These guys are going to Disneyland, and TMZ's following them around.
Yeah.
And they're following around RFK, asking him about raccoons and stuff. And it's absolutely hilarious because, you know, your big media is not doing this. Your CBS isn't doing this. The CBS state-sponsored media doesn't want to do anything that would upset Trump. So, like, CBS isn't, CNN's not doing that. They don't have TMZ has the resources to do this, but, like, is ABC News, I worked for ABC News. Is ABC News doing this? Are they following the congressmen around Disneyland? Do you know what you would have to do? You would have to send your biggest reporter to do that and chase them around, or your local CBS reporters or ABC, whoever in Orlando would have to go catch them. Like, you would have to, like, find somebody on the ground to, like, the coordination of this. But, like, TMZ has this, and they're like, whatever, let's open a DC bureau and we're going to chase them around in their own backyard, which is brilliant. You know, and at some point here's my question. At some point, because Elon's in bed with the government, Zuckerberg's in bed with the government, do Twitter and Facebook at some point
they all are.
shut down the TMZ account because Trump gets mad? Like, I already see this coming. Somebody somewhere who's got influence and who's gotten favors from the government is going to say, hey, you know what, TMZ, sorry, you know what, you can't post that. Trump says we gotta put the kibosh on that. Like, and that's where, like, the government has too much influence over the tech platforms. We all know this. Like, we don't even need to argue that. But at some point, we can make our own media on Nostr, whether it's music, whether it's news. Like, I want TMZ on Nostr chasing down politicians. I mean, that's great, because you know what? The problem TMZ is going to have.
They could use Nostr because they wouldn't be able to get censored or banned if they used Nostr.
Exactly. Like, because if you see the video on one social platform and then, like, look for it on the next, like, if I see it on TikTok, will it pop up on Twitter? Because Twitter's not chronological anymore like Nostr. So if they posted the video to Twitter and I saw it on TikTok, but then I want to go to my Twitter account and share it there, I got to dig and figure out, like, how did Twitter bury the video? When did they post it? How do I find it? It's not the same thing on each platform because the algorithms are weighted differently. And so it gets harder to find the same information, but on different platforms. You know it's there because you know TMZ is on Twitter. You know they're on TikTok. They're on everything. The moral of the story is that, you know, today it's Heather and Derek getting censored from TikTok and Reddit, but tomorrow it could be TMZ, which is actually doing important work. That's a sentence I never thought I'd say.
Yeah.
You know, like, the ability
TMZ
to censor
doing important work.
I know. Like,
yeah.
2026 bingo card is like, just throw it out. It's over. We didn't see any of this coming, and it's only April.
No. It's a
wild year. All right, Derek.
But at the end of the day, we know somebody, every single one of us, every single one of you listening to this, know somebody that will be censored at some point. It's becoming incredibly common, sadly.
Oh, yeah.
And whenever that happens, Nostr will be here for you and be here for them. That's why we build.
And we'll keep building. Aye, Captain.
Keep
next
building.
week. Next week we'll have the true Vegas recap. So have a peaceful week.
True Vegas recap.
Get censored. Try not to get banned. Try to stay online, folks. And if you
try not to get banned in the meantime, unless you're Heather, apparently try to get banned so we can talk about it. I don't know.
The things I try to do to get banned on TikTok don't get me banned. The things I'm not trying to get banned for are the things that get me banned. So anyway, if I'm still on TikTok in a week, we'll find out. And if I'm not, you'll just find me on
that's
Ditto.
Our next major Nostr campaign. Like, we had Nostr November, we had March Off Twitter. Maybe the next one is
Too Hot for TikTok.
Get banned April or something, or May.
It's Too Hot for TikTok. Hot Girl Summer for me. That's what it is. You've heard of Hot Girl Summer? Right. Well, I'm too hot for TikTok Girl Summer. Doesn't have the same ring to it.
Come up with a good hashtag for that, and we'll make it happen, and we'll meme it into the Nostrverse.
Alrighty, sir. We'll talk soon.
Peace.